Welcome back, beautiful souls, to another episode of Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive. If you are new here, my name is Erin Chandler. I'm an intuitive guide, healer, psychic, medium. So I'm being called to speak further on quantum entanglement and the twin flame journey for a number of souls on this channel. However, my daughter is referencing this is not just about the twin flame journey. I'm being told to reference the original date of the beginning of this channel, which was May 21st. I'm not sure why this is relevant. Most of the videos that you will watch on this channel, the majority of them have been recorded on previous dates. The reason for telling you this, Ava says 21 is an important number, including May the 21st, as there was an influx or a releasing of light on May either the 21st, yes, let me tell you, or the 22nd. These pre-recorded videos are intended to share divine information for each of you as you move on your journey. The timing of these is highly relevant. I'm not aware of why this is so relevant, but I am being called to trust that it is important that I note the dates on these channels. These were all recorded directly after the new moon in Taurus. This is a message for someone specifically who had a query or was wondering about the channeled messages. I am being told to tell you sometimes when you receive divine wisdom or knowings, it has already been previously channeled or put into the collective consciousness in order to trigger that conscious awareness of it in you to deliver the messages that allow you to put all the different pieces together, to allow you to recognize that you are indeed part of the collective consciousness and connected to many different beings of light, love light. You are connected in that way. This is also how your energy touches others. As we move into the collective consciousness, this is the awareness that your thoughts are magnetized and can affect and influence each other, whether it is in positive or negative ways. I am being told it is time now to move into the channel of twin flames, quantum entanglement, and the relational values in terms of the quantum field's emotional aspects and all relative perspectives is what I am hearing. So when we have an experience, it actually creates quantum entanglement ripple effect immediately. For example, when we are in love with someone, being in love with someone, we tend to see all of the beautiful, wonderful things in them being reflected back to us. We tend to put them on a pedestal as if they can do no wrong. And then the honeymoon phase wears off and we kind of realize they're not the pretty rose-colored glasses that I thought they were. The honeymoon phase has ended. But that initial joy, if you only have the first few, this is why people get stuck on other people when they're in the dating scene, is what I'm told. When you have that first experience and it's wonderful, and then one person pulls back. This is particularly true of twin flames. When you have all these positive experiences and then one person pulls back, it's actually creating quantum entanglement because you've had such joy and then you swung to the opposite side of the pendulum into, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? That's the chaser and the runner dynamic of, it's like an imbalancing. A lot of you who have walked away from twin flames, I will tell you the purpose of the twin flame journey is not to keep you in a toxic cycle of trauma of trying to fix one another and force the other person to come back to you and love you. I also want to tell you that a twin flame does not mean that that person makes you whole. You technically are whole no matter what. If you came as an individuated soul, you are whole. In addition, here is my personal perspective of the concept of twin flames. I actually do not follow that personally because my experiences with spheres of consciousness and my understand of all of us in spirit form, whether you're in a body or deceased, we are all interconnected. I am you and you are me, in the sense that my sphere of consciousness is part of the great spirit. The idea that I am half a person as an individuated soul is sometimes based on the fact that we are looking for somebody who matches our frequency. And we are also looking for soulmates who are intended to meet us on our path, to connect with us at certain points in time in order to activate us, to heal us, to lead us down a different path, to trigger a wound that needs to be healed. Sometimes we mistake those people for twin flames because our energetic magnetism to them is so enormous. or our energetic repelling of them is so enormous and so intense. We are all designed to actually have telepathic communication with everyone. Usually somebody that we attribute a twin flame or label it as is just somebody who we have an acute telepathic connection with that is designed to awaken us to heal our wounds. That does not mean that that person makes you whole or you're only half a person without them. Because all of the things that people describe on a twin flame journey in depth, and I've worked with a lot of people who are on the twin flame journey. So as I said, I don't want to negate from that because that's part of your path at this time. But if you have been waiting and searching for somebody specifically, I'm being told on here, this is specifically for a divine feminine. You do not need to wait for, quote, your other half, unquote, because you are your other half. That concept or idea is actually your spirit remembering that there is a divine counterpart, somebody who perfectly complements you that is going to be coming into your life. So you don't actually have to wait for that person. You can actually step out and create the joy as a whole person, already knowing that that's coming. I feel like you're being told, your guides, your higher self, your heart and soul and your mind and your body and spirit yearns or longs for this other person. I'm hearing that reference from that movie, You Complete Me. Here's the thing. The moment you step into, I am complete in and of myself, and this person is already divinely destined to come to my life only to add to the joy, to the peace, to the harmony, and to create with me, it almost like releases the barriers for them to come in. That is true of runners and chasers, that whole context of the dynamic. So we are all designed to have telepathic communication. However, on the twin flame journey, that is very specifically designed for us to experience it intensely, that telepathic communication with another person, in order to hearing it's a catalyst energy designed to catapult us intensely, sometimes confusingly, into that whole activation. And you actually do it for each other. And that is your soul agreement that you have with each other. That's the frequency. Once you move into the holding of the self, and yes, we do sometimes heal with that twin flame concept. And sometimes it's just meant to trigger us to healing wholeness in ourselves. We start to become into complete balance, recognizing that the idea that we have a twin flame and they're our other half is actually not in logical or spiritual alignment with the fact that we're all one. There's that piece too. So these are just different dynamics and pieces that I have learned on my journey and how I experience it. All the things that we experience with twin flames, the lists of things that you may have sought out or found. I frequently experience those with many, many souls on the earth plane. Whether I have met them or not is irrelevant. It is not about a romantic dynamic. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. It's about activating soul frequencies and remembering and bringing each person back into their whole. And sometimes it's them bringing me back into my holding as well. It's not just a one-way street, it is both and. I will always gain from that experience as well, because we're all just coming back into being one. Twin flames, the idea of two halves of a whole. What if I told you the spirit, the great spirit is the whole? We are all just a piece of it, and yet we are whole in each little piece, because you are a fragmented piece of the light. Just as the 12 houses, the first house does not say, I am all 12 houses. The first house says, I am of the first house. I am one part of the great whole. I am one part of the great knowing. I am an individuated soul that is part of the ocean of all of great spirit and knowing. No one person completes me, and yet in the great vastness of spirit, we are all complete together. I'm just going to trust that this information about twin flames needs to come out in that way. There are people who are pushing through paradigms and shifting their way of perspecting. The purpose of that is simply to bring you back to the wholeness of yourself, so you can be in integrity and divine harmony with you, rather than entering into concepts or boxes or labels that may in fact put you in toxic situations or limit you or keep you on that karmic cycle. So you'll notice that the twin flame journey is actually intended to bring us back to ourselves. That is the catalyst energy. And Ava is pointing out the flames. So we may look at the violet flame, the blue flame, the root red flame, the red crystal, the blue crystal, the purple violet crystal. These are also the energy centers of the chakra systems, the wheels of energy. The rays or frequency, the ray of red, the ray of yellow, solar plexus, the ray of the crown chakra, which is that beautiful lavender purple. For some of you, it may be a transcendent white. These are all different facets of explaining the same thing. The reason why we are touching on this is flames. If the twin flame journey is intended to bring us a flame where we are looking outside of ourselves, thinking that somebody else completes us or we are whole with that person, that in essence is actually telling us that there is one of the energy centers or flames that we are trying to recall back of our own core energy, which is one of the flames, which is one of the energy centers. This is how the twin flame journey actually brings us into a more holding of the self. It's always bringing us back to ourselves. The whole purpose of a spiritual union, I want to touch on spiritual unions because oftentimes we look at the twin flame journey as a spiritual union, but in essence, at the very core foundation and purpose of it, it is actually designed as a core activation. When we are searching for somebody outside of us to fulfill a component within us, so a flame or a frequency or an energy, that twin flame shows up with that exact flame or core energy that we feel is inherently missing inside of us at our own core. It is calling back the core pieces of you. The twin flame journey is in essence an catalyst and an activation to bring you back into the holding of all the flames of the self. So if your flames or your frequencies or your chakra energy centers, if you are calling back that one piece of you, that flame, that twin flame shows up to ignite the holding of that within you. This is an interesting way to describe this or depict it. I am rolling with my daughter Ava and of course my guides and my team in spirit because the amount of information, essences, forms, perspectives, 12th dimensional views that are offered through the planes of spiritual ascension are profound. There are a multitude of ways to look at twin flames. Now, spiritual unions. I wish to speak on spiritual unions. The twin flame journey is essentially about holding within the self, finding the wholeness within ourself. So a twin flame often will trigger us because it's triggering the flame that we need to work on or need to call back to us or need to heal within us. It is powerful and profound. Sometimes that twin flame is activating the healing and holding within you of calling back all of your divine power. Sometimes it's about loving yourself unconditionally without the approval of anyone else outside of you. Sometimes it is about loving the essence of who you are. And sometimes for some of you, it's about the ability to be whole within yourself enough to let go of any and all external influences or external needs to fulfill something within yourself. That is part of the twin flame journey. It is not intended for you to fix or heal someone else. They are showing up so that you can fix and heal that within yourself. Oftentimes, twin flames are someone that you have an intense divine connection with, that you will have a soul remembrance of or a soul knowing that you know them through multiple lives. This is a magnetism that is built into those working on a twin flame journey in order to ensure you get the lessons and that the energy is so intense that it is propelling you, catapulting you into healing that within yourself. This is a divine gift. Yes, it can be extremely painful. It is only painful when it has triggered a wound that already exists in your soul's core frequency. That is the purpose, to heal and to whole in the soul's core frequency, to ignite all 9 chakra centers from the soul star chakra, the crown, the third eye, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, which is the bridge between the other 4 chakras above and below, moving into the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, and the earth star chakra. The purpose of a twin flame journey is to bring you into full alignment within your own vessel and your own soul's core essence. People who are from a twin flame journey, you are typically from the same soul pod or same soul journeys, and you will activate each other in different ways. It will be a perfect complementary thing that you heal within each other. Sometimes this can be very confusing. It can feel very dark. It can trigger massive wounds. There can be extreme quantum entanglement. Ava says quantum entanglement and twin flames is extremely important. Twin flames are meant to ignite all the flames within the house of self for each of the twin aspects. That is the entire purpose. It is actually for healing. Spiritual unions where those who have come together as twin flames in perfect harmony. It does not mean that they do not have challenges within their relationship. It does not mean that they are the same. It means that they have both come to a holding period or place within each of their core frequencies where each can be whole separately and create a whole individually together. This is the power of a spiritual union that is exalted, is what I am hearing. The exalted twin flame journey, the spiritual union which brings in complete freedom between a masculine and a feminine that is not intended to be male and female. It is not intended as man or woman. It is the divine masculine and feminine energy of receptivity and also of giving and taking action. So those are the 2 aspects of it. The exalted twin flame journey, which is healed and whole within each individually. When those 2 individuals are healed and all of the flames are ignited and they are perfectly balanced in their own masculine and feminine journey through all of the healing that has taken place and the holding of the selves, we then come into a place where we can spiritually align in a whole frequency. When you take 2 wholes that are of a beautiful divine essence core frequency and are intended to co-create together, it is sheer magic. The amount of energetic power that ripples out and gets anchored onto the earth plane when this happens is profound. That union actually heals multiple other people and all those connected to you, and even those who you do not know are connected to you or you do not sense. That is the power of an exalted, I keep hearing the word exalted, as in the pure divine essence of it, the intention of it. Oftentimes when people are on tumultuous twin flame journeys, that is because you are being asked to get off the wheel of karma, to heal those things that keep you in the cycles of karma. Some twin flames are not here to stay with you, or what some consider are a false twin flame. Oftentimes, people show up to prepare us for that exalted spiritual union. What that means is those people who come in and trigger our wounds to be healed. Remember, you cannot trigger a wound if there is no wound to trigger. I feel like somebody on here, you had somebody show up who literally triggered all of your deep core wounds. This person who showed up, I'm hearing this: find divine order in all things. The chaos is the divine reordering, preparation. That person showed up literally to prepare you for the exalted spiritual union that you are destined for. That is actually the thing that your soul knows that it's going towards. Find divine order in this. Take a step back and observe what are the wounds that were triggered in what I perceive to be a twin flame journey. What are the things that I have been asked or sought in the other person or blamed the other person for or wondered what they were doing? What is that asking me to give to myself? Look at the wound and it will give you the answer. Rumi, the wound is where the light gets in. That may not be Rumi, that may be Khalil Gibran. I have another channel coming up about the essence of the different ascended masters to teach us to pull their divine teachings together to bring in the full scope of the picture for the great awakening of all souls and unity Christ consciousness, the golden era. That is in another video upcoming on this channel. My friends and beautiful souls, please remember to hit the notification button. When you subscribe to the channel, it does not actually notify you when messages come out. You must click the notification button in order to be notified when messages will be posted on the channel. As always, use your discernment. You will know if a message is for you based on the feeling, the draw towards it. There might be a word that stands out that pings for you or something that you are currently thinking about. This is important for you to follow your inner compass. You came equipped with this. Those of you who feel that you have been on a twin flame journey that has been a massive roller coaster, triggering massive wounds, your job is not to fix the other person, the twin flame, or who you attribute or believe to be your twin flame. The purpose is for you to look at the holding in yourself. Which flame or energy center does this wounding speak to? What did it trigger? You are more powerful than you understand. The purpose of the twin flame journey is not for someone else to complete you. It is to show you what within yourself you need to look at, heal. I am deeply grateful for all of you who are on twin flame journeys because you are holding and healing yourself and the collective consciousness at the same time. This is why it is important to focus on your own energy. The twin flame journey is not intended to bring you the other half of you. It is intended to bring you back into yourself where the other half of you already resides. Inner child healing is part of quantum entanglement. Ava says the twin flame journey is rife with quantum entanglement. It is the entanglement being brought up and out of your energy of inner child wounding. That is part of the twin flame journey and self-love. We are all called to love ourselves unconditionally, even if it goes against the grain of what other people feel is relevant or right or true. The idea or judgment that something is right or wrong actually stops us from unconditionally loving ourselves. We must love ourselves in the aspect of unconditional love is not unconditional tolerance. In fact, unconditional love is loving oneself enough to say, I can no longer tolerate that because I unconditionally love myself and I unconditionally love everyone else enough to say that is something I cannot tolerate in my energy. So that is when we move away from those toxic cycles and karmic lessons. When we are able to say, I unconditionally love you, therefore I love you enough to let you know that I cannot tolerate those toxic experiences, those dark, dense, negative energies. That is holding and healing within yourself. What happens in this is a complete paradigm shift. The energy shifts. You move into your power, igniting your own flames, holding in and of yourself. That is part of the purpose of the twin flame journey and moving you towards, remember, it is preparing you for the exalted twin flame, which is actually bringing into your own soul's core frequency. The idea of twins, it is mirroring that which needs to be held within the self. Mirroring often happens when there is a transference of energy or quantum entanglement. Ava says you will notice that quantum entanglement is heavily related to emotional responses. When we have bliss, it creates that emotional response. Think about the frequency of this. Now think about the emotional response to an experience that is highly negative and highly triggering of a wound that already exists in the self or hurts or creates a spiritual imbalance within you. That creates a quantum entanglement when we seek to have the other person solve or heal that within us or to complete us. The purpose is to unentangle, to learn from the quantum entanglement that you are whole in and of yourself. This is how we come into the exalted facet or form or completion of that twin flame journey that brings us into the true essence of the divine spiritual union, where two individuals come together, hold within themselves to anchor in a massive amount of light